Hello over there, and welcome to another section of the Appmint tutorial series. So in this previous video, we've talked about how to boost your website performance. So in this particular section, we're going to be taking a look at site speed and mobile optimization. And all these steps is to ensure that your website is actually working fine as it is meant to be. So site speed and optimization is to enable you to optimize your website performance so as to have a great so that your user can have a great user experience when using your website. So to begin with, the purpose of this particular section is to teach you how to optimize performance and mobile user experience that is essential for fast and engaging websites. So if you are interested to know more about how to optimize your websites, so the first thing that you need to do is to reduce image sizes, since image are actually one of the things that make your website to actually have a large file, thereby causing the website space speed to load a bit slow. So the first step that you are going to do when you want to optimize your website image is to use WebP format. So WebP format, there are different types of image formats that you can use. You have the JPG, you have the JPEG, you have the PNG, you have the GIF, and all of those things. But with the WebP format, it's going to enable you to use the correct image sizes with high quality and also reducing the image sizes. So WebP format allow you to compress your images without visible quality loss. And in the previous videos, we have shown you how to use an online tool such as Picadust to convert your image from PNG, JPG, and JPG to WebP format seamlessly. So the second method that you can use to reduce image sizes is to optimize image dimensions. So if you have an image that is, let's say, 2406 pixel by 1302 pixel, which is a quite a large image sizes, you can optimize image dimension by resizing the images to display size before uploading. So the image sizes that you are going to use will determine how your the type of image that you should use. So if you notice that an image is quite large in its original format, then you can reduce the image sizes before you use on your website. Then the third one is automate compression. So instead of reducing or compressing image one by one, you can also leverage build tools for batch compression, such as Speaker just allows you to batch compress multiple images from 5, 10, even up to 50 images at once without manually compressing images one by one. So you can find the link to the online tool in the description below on this video. So the second method that you can use to also optimize your website is to enable lazy loading. So lazy loadings allow you to load only when feasible on viewport. So you can defer off-screen images. That is, instead of loading all the images on your website, you can defer these images and that they should load only when they are visible on viewport. So then the second one is that improve initial load time. So if you use a tool like Google Page Leader Site to check how your website loading speed, and you notice that it actually quite take a while before your website load, you can improve initial load time by reducing data usage and speed with that. Then you can also use lazy loading for videos as well. Although initially we mentioned lazy loading for images that you can use it to defer off-screen images. But lazy loading also support videos as well. So you can lazy load embedded video content, such as if you have a web page that adds a particular video. So instead of loading that video immediately when the user is accessing that page, you can defer that embedded video content and only load it when the user is on the viewport. So then the third one is minify CSS and JavaScript. So if you are building your website and you are a developer and you are integrating something like CSS for styling and JavaScript for dynamic actions on your website, then it is always recommended that you should minify your CSS and JavaScript code. So you can do this by removing the comments and white space from your code so as to minify the code. Then you can also combine files by reducing it so that it will enable you to reduce the HTTP request. Then you can also use build tools that allows you to automate minification in workflows. So instead of manually minifying CSS and JavaScript, you can take advantage of build tools to automate minification in workflows. And the third step is using a content delivery network, and this is actually highly recommended, especially if you know that your website is going to be quite a lot and it's going to be taken out. So the benefits of CDN, such as Cloudflare, which you can access in cloudflare.com. I'm also going to be dropping a link to this CDN on the description below. So using a tool like content delivery network, CDN, allows you to serve assets from nearest servers, so thereby making it easier for global content distribution. So that means whether you're building your website from Africa and someone outside Africa is accessing your website, or you are building your website from outside Africa and someone from inside Africa is accessing your website, you can be rest assured that your website has global content distribution, and that is, it's going to serve assets from nearest servers. So the second benefit of CDN is that it also provides reduced latency, thereby ensuring faster resource delivery for your users. And also the third one, when it comes to using content delivery network, is improved scalability. That is, it can with CDN, it's going to be able to handle traffic spikes efficiently, unlike when you are not using CDN. So then the second one, another part that we're going to talk about is when you are using a theme for your website, such as we have shown in the Appmint template, where you have where you have access to a lot of themes that you can use for your website. I'm also going to be dropping a link in the description below on how to quickly access Appmint template. So it is highly recommended that you use a mobile responsive theme, and you can actually check this by seeing the preview of the theme and then trying to check it out on mobile, and you see on mobile, so that you are rest assured that you are using a mobile responsive theme. So the meaning of using a mobile responsive theme is that it's fluid layout. That is, the meaning of fluid layout is that they are not rigid, they are not fluid, they are not fixed. So, and this actually makes it easier for them to adapt to any screen size smoothly. That is, with fluid layout, you can be rest assured that your element is going to be adapted to any screen size smoothly. So the second thing about using a mobile responsive theme is that you are assured of consistent UI element. That is, you are able to maintain usability across devices. So whether your user using a desktop device to access your website, a tablet device, or even a mobile device, you can be rest assured that there is going to be maintenance of usability across devices. Then you also have cross browser compatibility. So this simply means that when you're using a mobile responsive theme, the element on your website is going to work well on major mobile browsers. So whether it is Opera Mini, it is Chrome, or any mobile browsers that it is that your visitors are using, then you can be rest assured that there is going to be cross-browser compatibility, as a mobile responsive theme is going to work well on major mobile browsers. So then the other thing that we're going to mention about when it comes to site speed and mobile optimization is optimize font and buttons for touchscreens. So when you're building a website, and since a lot of users is going to be accessing your website or mobile, so it is highly recommended that you optimize your font and buttons for touchscreens. So you can also do this by using the Appmint mobile preview to see how your website is going to look like on mobile device. So when the optimization of font simply means that you should ensure that you are using readable fonts for your website. This can be done by using the appropriate size and weight, such as, let's say you are using something about 64 pixel for large screen, then you can use something like maybe 16 pixel or 20 pixel for small screen. And even I always recommend that you should using WEM or M instead of using pixel, as using WEM or M enables you to dynamically adapt your font based on the device that the user is using. So you should always ensure that you are using the appropriate size and weight, thereby making your fonts to be readable. Then for touchable buttons, so you should also make sure that your buttons are large enough for easy taps. Not like when you are designing or you are building your website and then your button is quite small to the extent that it's making it a little bit difficult for user to touch the button. So you shouldn't do that. Always ensure that your buttons are large enough for easy taps. Then high contrast, you should also ensure that they improve visibility in daylight, such as when the user is using your website, whether in daylight or in night time. So there should be high contrast so that your user will be able to see so that the user are able to see your website whether it's in daylight or night time. Then you should also test mobile navigation. So mobile navigation means that if your user are trying to navigate from one place to another on your website, there should be menu accessibility that is easy to open and close. So in your navbar, when you're on desktop, usually the items in your navigation is going to be side by side since it's a last screen. But when you're on mobile, usually there is going to be a toggle button whereby when the user a toggle icon, whereby when the user click on the toggle icon, it's going to bring out all the navigation. So you should also always ensure that there is menu accessibility. That is, it's easier for your visitor to open and close the menu toggle. Then the second one is search functionality. That is works seamlessly on small screens. So if you have if you are building something like a blog or you have a website that is going to be having lots of pages, then you can also include search functionality so that it will be easier for your user to search for anything on your pages. And also you should always ensure that this search functionality works seamlessly on small screens. So the final one on when it comes to test mobile navigation is performance. So you should always ensure that the transition and response that is going to be done on your website, especially for mobile application, should be fast and smooth. So that's where we are going to be stopping for site speed and mobile optimization. So now let's talk about steps to optimize your website speed in Appmint. So the first one is you should run a site speed analysis with Google Page Speed Insight. And you can do this by simply opening a new tab and go to pagespeed.web.dev. So when you get to pagespeed.web.dev, then enter your website link. In this case, it's going to be first Appmint website first Appmint website appmint.app. So when you're done with that, then click on analyze. So after clicking on analyze, then it's going to start analyzing your website with the speed analysis. So after you are done that, you should be able to get the analysis of your website, that is how fast your website loads and what might be affecting the website speed analysis. Then the next thing that you're going to do, the second step, is to enable lazy loading and image compression on your website, such as the tools that we talked about, which is pictures that you can use to compress your images. Then you can also enable lazy loading on your website. Then the third one is to minimize CSS, JavaScript, and font on your Appmint website. So by minimizing CSS, JavaScript, and font, you are thereby guaranteed that your website is going to load. The website loading is going to improve drastically. Then you can also retest your website and compare the before and after performance scores. That is, after you have run the analysis, try to find out what is the present score. So for instance, let's say I have 68 performance as it is now for mobile, and then for desktop I have 83. So after you are done with the optimization of your website, then try to do another test and compare the results of before and after to see how your website actually performs. So and after doing the testing, then you are now good to go. So this is where this is where we're going to stop here for this particular section. So for the learning activity is for you to optimize your website speed using the compression, minification, and the lazy loading techniques that was mentioned in this particular section. So I'm going to be seeing you in the next section where we talk about website publishing and deployment. Until then, bye.